Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A fourth teenager dies after being shot at a Michigan high school. A judge orders the suspected gunman to be moved out of juvenile detention and into a county jail.
3 men are charged with trying to steal catalytic converters from a Rockford auto shop. Experts offer tips on how to keep your car's components safe.
And a hometown inspiration is remembered. The Forest City recognizes the late fashion icon during Virgil Abloh Day. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. A fourth Michigan high school student dies from gunshot wounds following yesterday's attack. Investigators say the latest victim is 17-year-old Justin Schilling. Ethan Crumbly, the 15-year-old sophomore accused of carrying out the shooting, was charged today. He will be tried as an adult. Police say Crumbly posted a video the night before the attack at Oxford High and discussed killing students. According to investigators, the teen's parents were called to meet with the school the day before the shooting. There are few details about the nature of that meeting. The 3 other teens gunned down are 14-year-old Hannah St. Juliana, 16-year-old Tate Meir, and 17-year-old Madison Baldwin. 4 of the 7 victims remain in the hospital, including a 17-year-old girl in critical condition with a gunshot wound to the chest. A Mississippi man is sentenced for robbing a Rockford hotel. Back in July, police say Joseph Williams Jr. pointed a gun at a clerk at the Comfort Inn on Argus Drive and demanded money. Williams pleaded guilty. He got 180 days in jail, followed by 30 months probation. Williams is also charged with robbing 2 Freeport businesses around the same time. He's in the Stevenson County Jail and due back in court in February on those charges. A Rockford man accused of sexually assaulting a minor turns himself in to the Winnebago County Jail. Police say 30-year-old Ruben Herrera abused a juvenile younger than 18. Investigators say Herrera knew the child. Sensitive crimes detectives are handling this investigation. A group of men is caught stealing car parts from a Rockford auto center overnight. Officers were called to Greater Rockford Auto Auction on Sandy Hollow Road after an alarm went off at the shop. Investigators found a hole in the fence around the building and located 3 people walking inside the fenced-in area. Police asked the suspects to stop. All 3 men ran away. Officers caught up with and arrested Rael Gonzalez, Roberto Reyna, and Elijah Reyna. Bolt cutters, a sawzall, and saw blades were all found at the scene. Court records show Gonzalez says he put the other men up to the crime. Investigators believe the men were trying to steal catalytic converters. It's a problem auto shops are seeing across the state line. Nikel Delgado spoke with a local body shop owner. Nikel, is there anything we can do to prevent these thefts?
Eric, Mimi, this is happening all over, and thieves are looking for a quick buck to cash out on your car parts. But local service center says there are things that you can do to prevent this.
We're even seeing, a little bit of a spike in popular vehicles of the Toyota Prius. Those can bring anywhere from on the market at salvage yards, recyclers. I'm hearing upwards of $1,000 to $1,200.
It's an important part of your car, a part thieves want to get their hands on.
They're after the converters. Like I said, there's precious metals in them. Rhodium and platinum are the main ones that are in it.
Nathan Kurt owns Kurt's Service Center in Rockford. He says he's been seeing a lot more cars coming in, missing the catalytic converter. It's the piece of exhaust mounted onto your car that converts toxic gases into less harmful substances. Removing the piece takes less than a minute. Thieves just slide under the car, chop off the converter. It's happening so much, U-Haul trucks have their own protection.
U-Haul is sending us cages, and we're actually mounting cages up underneath. We replace the converter, and we put a cage up, and then we weld that cage in, or sometimes we can bolt it in, and it's a rebar cage. So it makes it a lot harder. Even if they were to cut it, it falls down in the cage.
In the meantime, Kurt hopes something will be done to detour this kind of crime.
I think, we could see some stricter laws coming down the road to where if you are a person that is bringing in catalytic converters into salvage yard or recycling facilities, they're going to want an ID, they're going to want some information from.
To protect yourself and your car, police says it's best to park indoors if that's an option. Otherwise, try to park underneath a light. You can try an alarm, cameras, or even spray paint or etch your information onto the part, making it easier to identify converter if it is stolen. Eric?
Thanks, Nikel. Today, December 1st, is Virgil Abloh Day. Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara honored the Louis Vuitton fashion designer and Rockford native this morning. Abloh died Sunday at the age of 41. He's a BOYLAN High School graduate and often said everything he did as a designer was for the 17-year-old version of himself. BOYLAN's president says students will forever see Abloh as an inspiration.
Our kids know about him, obviously probably even more than some of us because of the high fashion and the clothing and things like that, but they also know he was a titan, and I think that's what they'll carry with them forever.
Abloh made history in 2018 by becoming the first black artistic director of menswear at Louis Vuitton. He just recently designed jerseys for the BOYLAN soccer team. Abloh played when he was in high school. For more on the Rockford native and Abloh's career, you can just head to our website, mystateline.com.
The U.S. confirms its first known case of the Omicron variant. A person in California has been infected. Now scientists are racing to determine whether this strain of the virus is more dangerous than previous variants. Chief White House Medical Officer Dr. Anthony Fauci says it was only a matter of time before the strain entered the U.S. He's pushing for unvaccinated Americans to get the shot and for vaccinated people to get a booster.
If you look at the level, for example, of an antibody, a neutralizing antibody, peak following the second dose of a 2-dose mRNA, it's like at this level. If you look at the peak following the third shot boost, it goes way up here.
The person who has Omicron is isolating at home and is not experiencing a severe case. Contact tracing is underway.
The new variant's not been found in Illinois, but health officials warn about a spike in COVID cases during the holidays here in the state line.
The virus is being felt at Pecatonica Elementary School, where too many positive cases means classes have to be moved online. Michelle Rave spoke with the district superintendent. Michelle, he says this was a last resort.
That's right, Eric and Mimi. Pecatonica's superintendent explained to me COVID, along with staffing issues, played a role in the decision. It was an early morning for custodial staff at Pecatonica Elementary School as they deep cleaned every surface at the school. Hallways and classrooms sit empty, missing the usual buzz of students.
Yesterday we crossed that threshold. We had a few more positive cases between students and staff. Overall, we have 14 adults impacted, whether they're positive or they're having to stay home with children.
Parents were told their kids will go to remote learning from December 1st to the 10th. Pecatonica Superintendent Carl Carlson says the decision wasn't easy.
We have a short substitute list, and we're out of adults. So the decision was made to take an adaptive pause until Friday, the 10th of December. We'll come back on the 13th. So when you start knocking out 15 to 20% of your people, then it's hard to have coverage.
Carlson says both staff and families have been very cooperative, but says it's circumstances like these that makes it out of the district's control.
Everybody's doing their due diligence. I mean, we follow the safety protocols here. We spray each night on second shift with electrostatic sprayers. We socially distance with partitions at lunch.
Right now, the plan is for students to return to the classroom December 13th.
You know, we're washing our hands, we're socially distancing, but once that hot spot seemed to erupt, or wherever it might have been, it spread pretty quick. So COVID's still here, we're still dealing with it, and hopefully we get over this and get back to school.
Carlson says the school nurses are actively working on contact tracing and working closely with the health department so they can safely return back to school. Eric, Mimi.
On this World AIDS Day, health officials are reflecting on decades of progress.
Across the globe, nearly 38 million people are living with HIV, including 1.2 million patients in the U.S. Today, the White House renewed its commitment to ending the HIV/AIDS epidemic by 2030. The disease particularly impacts communities of color, teen girls and young women, and the LGBTQ+ community. A doctor with UW Health tells us research has turned what was once a death sentence into a chronic but manageable disease.
The holy grail of HIV that is left for us is finding the cure and finding a vaccine to prevent this disease. But at the same time, we have to really marvel how far we have come.
Moving forward, health experts encourage communities to focus on equitable access to HIV prevention, care, and treatment.
Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the warm weather that we experienced today. Well, because we're talking about another warm day, actually a couple of warm days on the way as we head toward the end of the work week. But here's a look at the planning forecast. We'll start out with this evening. Just to point out, temperatures will slowly fall into the mid-40s by the time it gets to midnight, and that's pretty much it for the overnight. So we're not talking about cold conditions tonight. We'll be above normal for sure, but we are talking about clouds. But either way, you may not need the heat turned up as high this evening because, again, we're talking about mild conditions being out there. Now, here's a look at the Mercy F Skytrack weather camera across downtown Rockford. Things are pretty quiet. You see the water shimmering there. We still have a wind out there, and at times we could be dealing with winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour or even higher as we head throughout the overnight and throughout much of Thursday. But as we focus in on what's happening right now, we have temperatures sitting in the mid-40s in Monroe, 50 degrees in Rockford, 48 in Belvedere, 48 in Rochelle. So very mild out there for this time of year. And we also have some strong wind anywhere from the southwest at about 9 to about 14 miles per hour. We do have some lighter wind out there in some spots, but generally speaking, we will keep the wind with us. And as we focus in on temperatures, because that will be the big story over the next couple of days, we're talking about mild conditions as we head throughout the overnight into tomorrow morning. Thursday, 6 a.m., we're talking about temperatures likely starting out in the mid-40s, and then as we head to the afternoon, this particular model is showing temperatures only reaching the low 50s, but I do believe because we have some drier air working in, we'll see some peaks of sun. I think all of that will combine to bump temperatures much higher. So we're talking about temperatures reaching into the mid 50s and even upper 50s when it's all said and done. But eventually, cooler air does start to move back in after a front passes through early Thursday, and that will mean temperatures by the time we get to Friday morning will be back in the mid 30s, which is closer to normal for us for this time of year for lows, but we'll be back into the 50s as we head into Friday afternoon. Although as the sun is setting, you'll see temperatures slowly falling back into the 40s. So we are definitely talking about some mild conditions out there. We're talking about gusty winds as well. This is a look at the Futurecast wind gusts through midnight tonight. Some spots could have wind gusts upwards of 25, even 30 miles per hour. So we are definitely keeping the wind. The wind is part of the reason why we are staying warm. And we're also looking at the satellite and the radar. We had some sprinkles earlier. Those have since dissipated, but we are dealing with clouds. And we're noticing more clouds and even moisture continuing to stream in from southern Canada in our direction. This is really following the flow of the jet stream, and this is the pattern that we will be in as we head toward the end of the work week, even into the weekend. But we are talking about changes that will lead to much colder air as we head toward next week, and even measurable snow across our region as well. So as we talk about what's going forward with the forecast, we do want to point out that clouds will be off and on throughout our region as that weak front pushes through on Thursday. Then as we look at the next system, we're talking about some rain on Sunday. That's something you definitely need to keep in mind. But as we talk about your forecast for tonight, we'll be down to 44 degrees breezy. Tomorrow we'll see temperatures in the upper 50s, and the 7-day shows that we'll warm through the weekend really, but much colder by next week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott LEBER.
Well, the boys' Nick 10 basketball season opens up tonight. This season, the Nick 10 is back to its normal schedule, playing conference games primarily on Wednesday nights and Friday nights. So which team is the team to beat this season? I'm going to go with the HONONEGAH Indians. They're one of the tallest teams we've seen in the Nick 10 in a long time. They have 6'9" Dominic Comiso, 6'6" Brandon Beck, and 6'6" Braden Savitsky-Lynn, all experienced, excellent players. And they have a strong point guard to go with them in senior Owen Hart. Sophomore Cole Warren could also be a big addition to this team. And of course, HONONEGAH has an outstanding coach, Mike Miller, to mold this group. Back in the shortened February-March season, the Indians lost the first couple weeks of the season due to COVID, and they were not a factor in the race for the Nick 10 championship. Had it not been for COVID, they might have been. The Indians will be trying to win their first Nick 10 championship since the 08-09 season when they had Mike Brown leading the way. I have HONONEGAH number 1, defending conference champion East number 2. The E-RABS have some excellent young talent. The BOYLAN Titans 3rd, Tristan Ford and Joey Apino will lead the way, and the Titans win a lot of games as usual with their strong fundamentals and team play. HARLEM finished 2nd in the conference in March. The Huskies had some excellent talent returning, including DeAndre Young and Lathan Lewis. And I'm picking Auburn 5th. The Knights edge out Guilford and Jefferson for that spot. The Knights will be one of those teams that will be much better as the season goes along while they try to fit some new pieces together on the court. Now, there is not a super team in the conference this year. The margin of difference between the top 7 teams is pretty thin. And because of that, it's going to be one of those years where we're going to see a team with 3 losses, maybe even 4, win the conference. So do any of our local teams, Nick 10 or otherwise, have a shot at going to state at the end of the season? Right now, I'd say the boys' team with the best shot is South Beloit in Class 1A. They just won the Oregon Thanksgiving tournament. I was very, very impressed with that young man. Their 6'7" freshman, Ross Robertson, is a real head for the game and how to play it despite being so young. 6'6" Brad Nepper, here's a strong post presence, and guard Lawrence Koska can shoot the lights out. And the local girls team with the best shot at going to state is Winnebago in Class 2A. The Indians went 9-1 in the short season in February and March, and they returned their big 3 of Mia Brown, Campbell Schrank, and Renee Rittmeyer. These girls are used to playing together, and they're off to a great start this season at 6-0. All 6 wins have been blowouts.
Marcus's warm weather reminder is up in just a few seconds.
But first, here's a look at what's to come on News Nation tonight.
Tonight, the Omicron variant in the United States. So how concerned should you be? The new statistics showing just how well the vaccine works and how China is using our own tech to gather data on Americans. That's On Balance. Here's Dan Abrams.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. Explosive testimony in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial when the first accuser to take the stand, under oath, talks about former President Trump. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's all coming up tonight on the fastest growing cable news network in America, News Nation. It's available on the cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also head to newsnation.com.
And as we talk about your weather, let's take a look at the first warn interactive radar brought to you by Rockford Auto Glass and More. It shows that the coast is clear for us, and that should be the case generally as we head throughout the next day or so. But we have some limited rain chances out there, but most of us stay dry. As we talk about the forecast for tonight, we'll be down to 44 degrees, so a warm night on the way. Tomorrow, we'll likely see temperatures in the upper 50s with partly cloudy conditions. It'll be breezy as well, so you'll notice that wind along with the warmth. And as we look at the 7-day forecast, it stays actually above normal into Friday and into the weekend, but we have rain Sunday, and then we are much colder for the start of the next work week, and we'll be talking about snow likely for Tuesday and Wednesday.
We'll just focus on those 50s for now.
That's a good plan.
Thanks, Marcus.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.